Oh snap! Hey, what's going on there, YouTube?
What's up out there, everybody?
So we're back from New York Comic Con, y'all. It's great to be back home, the DMV location. So to start this off, we looked at a brand new episode of the 6th season of The Walking Dead. We are JVS. We're about to give y'all a review. There will be small spoilers interwoven into this, so if you don't want to be spoiled off, if you've not seen it, they might be involved in this in certain ways. So that way we can kind of talk as much as we really want to about this. Because first off, to begin the series, as far as the opening is concerned, what did you feel about it, Joe? As just a whole, compared to, I guess, the other seasons that they've done premieres.
Well, I mean, they do like this. I liked it for the most part. I didn't necessarily like the they did like a couple of flashbacks, which, I mean, it's smarter to do it that way because it tells you more that happens while keeping the same pace of the story. But which is actually kind of smart. I just wasn't used to it, as far as like, because they haven't done that a lot when it comes to The Walking Dead, so that caught me off guard. But it's actually smart how they did it. But the pro to that is also that they actually like throw you in the midst of, they're trying to initiate this plan, and it actually uncovers a lot about how the city's been so safe these recent years.
Yeah.
So a lot's been, they touch on that, and they also kind of touch on like what's been going on since the time that we've like not seen the show.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, well, another thing, me and Joe, we literally just woke up, I guess, what, 3 hours ago? It's right now, it's like 5 o'clock. So we're tired. Like, we're seriously tired from the entire trip, resting, off the day, thankfully. I really wanted to look at the episode last night, streamed, because I didn't know if you had Xfinity, you could use the AFC app and actually stream it. But we couldn't get any good Wi-Fi on the bus when we were coming back. But, I mean, for me, I think this might have been one of the best series openers that they've done, especially it not being 2 hours. And to be honest, like the first season, there was flashbacks spread out throughout the entire thing up until the point that the end of the first season, because they had to show, like, okay, how did Rick survive because of Shane? Like, what happened in between when Shane was with Lori? Like, they had different spread out things throughout the first season that alluded to different flashbacks. The only difference this time is that every flashback sequence was black and white, and it almost got to the point that it merged at the same exact time towards the end. But I mean, just to have the opening with them showing thousands and thousands of walkers, I was like, oh dang, they trying to diss the Fear of the Walking Dead. Because I mean, the Fear of the Walking Dead, to me, they did it like so big, their season finale, with all those thousands of walkers. But when you see all these freaking walkers in this canyon, and the reason why Alexandria has been protected, it's crazy to watch. Like, it added so much more weight to visually see, man, this is about like what they're trying to do. But to me, I was thinking to myself, I knew that Rick was going to react calculatively, but not rationally, because of where his mindset is right here. But definitely, man, having Morgan back, having the group back, I've been really waiting to see the group again, and it was good to really see them all over again. Everybody actually did a really good job as far as what I was concerned. I mean, Sasha, everybody, to me, since the events of what happened, like with Sasha and what was her name, Maggie, intercepting the priest, they seem like they've gone through a little bit of metamorphosis psychologically and mentally. Glenn, when he almost got killed by the guy that basically got Noah killed and tried to kill him, everybody seems progressively to have moved forward since the weeks of what happened to that. And I really like that. Not just that, like, I like the fact that Deanna is seriously just out of it. I feel like she's not leading because she doesn't know how to move on, and she hasn't had time to really grieve. I think during one point in the episode, Rick had told her, he was like, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. It was a good man. But I had to make the right call, XYZ, XYZ. She didn't knock him on that. It's just, she's just dead inside. She's emotionless. And not just that, I don't know what state her son is, her other son. So she lost one son. She lost her husband. But then the other son, the guy that played Julian in One Tree Hill, I don't really know what his mindset is. I really don't. Because something happened toward the end, and I'm thinking that he might be involved with it, if not Deanna herself. But it's a lot of weight that's going on. Did you want to talk about Morgan and Rick and their dynamics? We tried to tag team that.
Yeah, I mean, like with this episode, whatever, they're like, they talk about them like getting to know each other all over again.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, it seems fitting because, I mean, they've both been through a lot.
Yeah, because even like the first episode, like Morgan didn't trust Rick.
Yeah.
He was like, he basically had him like tied up and had a knife to him. Rick had just woken up, and like they weren't on the best of terms at first. Like, because he was like, I got to protect my son, and you don't understand what's going on in reality. Have you been bit? They scratch you, anything like that. No, I mean, but no, seriousness, like it really directly paralleled almost to the first episode. Like certain dialogues that they would have, I was like, this is wild. Like I really missed these two together.
Pretty much the basis of their relationship. Yeah. It's like one is crazy and the other one's trying to pull the other back from being crazy. You know,
yeah, because then the second time that happened too.
Respect.
Yeah. You know, so. It's really crazy, man.
It's so sweet. Him with that stick though, man. Morgan with that stick, bro. He's nasty.
Yeah, but it's funny that like Rick had asked him like, cause basically Rick at one point he held him up, like they had to hold him in a holding cell, and he said, I didn't really want to do this, but this is how we run. He said, no, that's fine. Sometimes it's better being locked up. I was like, what the heck is he talking about? But Rick had asked him, when did you learn how to use this? He asked him, did you learn it before or after? He's like, after all this. So that was like, when he had his own little town, he was just running the town, he was crazy. Like, I mean, didn't he almost kill Rick and Carl? And, I mean, Rick brought him out of that. So did Carl. So it was interesting seeing, you know, like, that again, like, how he learned, like, some of the stuff that he did. I mean, I still think that's really crazy, though, because he's deadly with that thing. You're, like, striking walkers like anybody else. One thing that did throw me off was Pete's wife, the guy that Rick killed, because he knew that eventually like Pete was gonna go off and kill somebody, if not kill his wife. His wife is really, I can understand, like, because I think that Carol, after Carol's husband got killed, yeah, she was mad. She even stumped on his head and stuff like that, but she was still kind of in between stuff emotionally and mentally just because she had been under that abuse so long. So that might be what's going on with Pete's wife, but she's really harsh toward Rick. Like, matter of fact, she almost technically pulled a gun on him towards the middle part of it, because Rick was kind of trying to reconcile some stuff. And I'm like, why are you mad at this dude? Like, I mean, yeah, he did lose it, did point a gun at everybody, but, you know, like, just let him know I need time. Like, not be like, okay, you don't need to touch my son, you don't need to touch my son. Because her son ran out there and almost got himself killed. Like, Morgan and Rick were going and doing reconnaissance, and these walkers almost attacked him, almost threw him over the canyon where all the walkers were, and thankfully Rick saved him. But I think that scene, or at least a little bit afterwards, when the boy was like, I really just want to know where my dad was buried. Because Rick had said he didn't want to bury him inside the camp. He needed to be buried outside. Deanna signed off on it. And Morgan and him were having a conversation about, I guess, their humanity or their perspective on life and how they are now and how things need to be. And Rick, at a certain point, he had a level of humanity. He decided to bury, you know, this boy's dad. We buried Pete. And I was like, Rick is still Rick, regardless of the fact that he is pro-Shane, in my opinion, but he still yearns to do the right thing. But then Old dude started doing something stupid. What was his name? Carter?
Yeah, I think that's the name.
So, you want to talk about what Carter did?
Oh yeah, so pretty much, was Eugene was like they were in some building. Eugene was overhearing them. Carter and like a group of others are like plotting to basically kill Rick.
Yeah.
You know, and he drops something, and then he pretty much gets discovered.
Yeah.
And then Carter points a gun to him, and then Rick, Michonne, and Morgan, they all come in like, what's going on?
I was like, oh my god.
You know, and you know, Rick was about to kill him. You know, Rick had a gun to his head, to Carter's head, and really was about to kill him, man. I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty much dead. He's pretty much dead. I'm like, Carter, you're dead right now. Like, you know. But Rick, man, like Rick had said, so he was talking to Morgan later on in the episode, man, and I was like, dang, like he's not necessarily. I don't think he's necessarily crazy. It's just that what he's been through, man. It's just like you could tell he's exhausted.
Yeah. He's
really exhausted from losing people, and I think on some levels being a leader. Yeah. Like he's really exhausted, and like him going to pretty much Alexandria and like having to start over with a different group of people. Yeah. He's got a group that's trained, that's knows everything that what they need to do, but he's trying to help these people, and it's like they're so far behind. Yeah. As far as like their mentality and even them just being able to survive, it's like
they can't do it.
He's just like, oh my god, like his patience is not there, and I mean it's understandable. And when he talks to Morgan like that, and that's pretty much evident. He was like, yeah, he was like, man, I was gonna kill him. He's like, I wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And he said pretty much, but he didn't realize that. You know what I'm saying? One way or another, that guy was already dead.
Yeah, people like that are irrational and stuff like that, they're gonna get themselves killed anyway.
Yeah, so I was like, dang, like that's.
And the irony of that is that this dude, I mean, at a certain point, they were basically the whole plan was to take this whole canyon of walkers and herd them literally out of the area through the street, and it was working really good. At first, there was a lot of things that could have gone wrong, and this was their first time even trying to do it. Got to the very end, and Carter, he agrees with Rick, like, this was a great idea. And all of a sudden, he goes and takes point, and I was like, man, he gonna F this up. Sure enough, Carter gets bit in the face. And that scene, man, it was hard to watch because of 3 different reasons. One, that he finally did make kind of reconciliation that, that he was right. But then 2, that Morgan saw what Rick had to do to end his life, and he knew, like, psychologically, what Rick had already said. It's like, I wanted to kill him. So he's going on the fact of, like, did he kill him because he wanted to go ahead and just kill him to end it, and there was no way to protect him, or did he do that because, like, man, Rick was right, like, he got himself killed, and it plays on the humanity of these characters. Even Michonne and Morgan both had unsettlingness about the whole situation, even though there was nothing that Rick could really do other than stop him from making that noise. But it was good. It was a good episode. I'm just upset at what happened toward the very end, because like I said, I'm leaning him towards either somebody that Carter talked to, or else I would say Deanna or her son Ron. I think that's his. No, I can't remember his son's name. But whatever her other son's name is. Only reason why I say that because I think that psychologically they're messed up. And I haven't seen really Deanna emote. And people that don't emote and that are weak, they're the ones that go and try to sabotage stuff. So I don't think it's the Wolves. I don't think it was the group that Morgan ran into. I think it's somebody within the camp. It's just going to be interesting to see who it was. But man, now this next episode, like, I don't know what they're gonna do given the circumstances of how everything ended on this one. But this was, like I said, this was one of the better season openers. What do you give it for a number, 1 to 10?
I mean, it definitely was a good episode. I really enjoyed the episode. I don't know, man. That's tough. That's tough.
Out of 1 out of 10, I give it a 9 or either a 9.5. I think I'll give it a 9.5 because they were able to do so much with the design of this without making it 2 hours. Like this should have been a 2-hour long episode just to fill in everything, but they fill in the gaps in such a subtle way that it still kept the prestige of how everything ended up. Because I mean, I was thinking, man, they're gonna do this, but then I was thinking, where are these things supposed to go? You know, they're gonna get, somebody else is gonna get screwed, you know, eventually. But I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed it. I can't give it a full 10 just because I have seen some better episodes that more dire straits, but I think that this next one, how the group is gonna have to handle it is probably gonna be really serious. But yeah. What about you? You renege? You want to give it a number?
I don't think I could rate this one. I mean, it was definitely a good episode, like you said. It should have been like a 2, not should have been, but on normal circumstances, that would have been a 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
But they did a good job of telling the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they executed it well. I mean, it was a great episode. I think they achieved everything they wanted to do and what they wanted to tell in this episode. So on that note, I'll probably give it a 10. You know what I'm saying? But like there has been, and I feel like there will be more extreme circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I haven't seen they were hurting walkers, you know? That's unheard of. Like I've never, in any zombie series, I've never seen anybody herd zombies, you know? So
yeah.
That was a crazy creative feature that was added in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of implications for the rest of the season. I'm excited to look at it. Hopefully next week we'll go back to doing kind of our Talking Dead with Jarrell's Alexandria, so stay tuned. Thanks everybody for watching our review. Coming back, we're actually going to do a couple more reviews before we go. We're going to actually watch Steve Jobs tonight early, so stay tuned for that review, maybe tomorrow. But love y'all. Thanks everybody for watching our channel, and leave a like below if you actually like this video. Deuces, y'all.